what we have to help you in your cases is this new breakthrough innovation that we are calling Synergy Genie. Genie is part of our new restage of the program. The program is called Viva, and it uses break new technology, the latest innovations, very, very many different features that we have added, one of which, as I said, is Genie. And I'm going to share my screen. And instead of talking about Genie, I would like to give you a little bit of a demo to show you how revolutionary and exciting this new feature is and how ably it can assist you in your practice. So, as I mentioned, the restage of our software is going to be called Synergy Viva. It's going to be powered by the latest technology, new innovative features, new appearance. And Genie is a trained, expert homeopathy assistant that can assist you with your practice. You can ask Genie any kind of questions. You can even talk to Genie. And as a demo, I'm going to show you the actual feature itself and how it works. One of the biggest challenges, and this has been brought up in the last few presenters' cases, is converting patients' language to rubrics. And Genie can help you with that. So I have here a sentence that could be, a very common sentence from any case. It might still present challenges to the novice homeopath or the student homeopath. And I'm going to show you, of course, you can put more complicated language there, but I'm going to show you how Genie can translate that into rubrics. So I'm going to tell Genie you can use regular language, convert this language to rubrics, and I will just add that sentence here. And you can see that Genie goes right away to analyzing the data and retrieving the right rubrics for that patient language. I think some of these rubrics would be straightforward: mind sensitive, oversensitive, fear, frightened easily. But there's also rubrics related to high desire to and timidity. Um, and if you like these rubrics, you could always put them and put them into your clipboard. The second challenge I feel these days with homeopaths in their practice is that patients come regularly now with a clinical diagnosis or a pathology. Sometimes you don't or may not have heard of the pathology even, let alone how to convert it into rubrics. So Sjogren's syndrome, for example, is a pathology I had not heard of until I saw the first homeopathy case about it, and I had to go research it to see what it was. But you could just ask Jeannie, what is, and I have a problem with spelling it, but let's hope I got it right. What is Sjogren's syndrome? And as soon as I type it, um, basically you get the answer. It even puts the symptoms of Sjogren's in homeopathic parameters. So you can see you have location, sensation, modalities, etc. You could even say, what are the best, what are the best rubrics for Sjogren's syndrome? And so in this case, there are sometimes diagnoses like hand, foot, and mouth disease. How would you look up the rubrics for hand, foot, and mouth disease? Or even something more serious like diabetic nephropathy. Let me show you what it's done. What are the best rubrics? And here are all the relevant rubrics that it gives you. It even includes a description of the rubric. And you can see that. So diabetic nephropathy, hand, foot, and mouth disease, anything, you can just type your question here and it will tell you what the best rubrics are. If you don't like them, you can always say, give me some more rubrics for this condition, and it will do that. Since we're on a little bit of a time crunch here, I do want to move on to this other feature within Genie, which is since you can ask it everything, you can even ask it to summarize your case and help you analyze your case. So you can see I have a short case here about 3-year-old kid with ADHD type symptoms. I'm just going to copy and I'm going to paste it into, and let's start this as a new query. I'm going to paste the case and I'm going to say, summarize this case. See, so the case is pasted and then I said, summarize this case. So it is summarizing the case with physical symptoms, general symptoms, mind symptoms, and it is even giving you the themes of the case. Of course, from here, understanding how to lay out the case, what are the main characteristics, the next step again would be how would you convert this into rubrics? And so what I would do is just ask Genie to do it. Convert this into rubrics. You can type anything. You can say, convert this language into rubrics, convert this case into rubrics. What are the best rubrics for this case? So Genie speaks your language. It speaks common language. You don't need to know any, specific forms of putting words together or questions together. And you can see it has come up with almost 18 rubrics covering all of these different qualities and characteristics of the case. And the same thing, every time you see a little arrow, you can click on it and it will take you to the rubric in the repertory where it will allow you to add the rubric to your clipboard for analysis. Some of the rubrics, it is also explaining what those rubrics mean from a homeopathic perspective. So as you can see, Genie can be there for you in your practice and assist you with your case analysis and also just speed up some things. Finding 18 rubrics for that very short case would take a lot of time. But what Genie has done has brought those rubrics to you within a second or two and really shortened the time that you can take on a case. The other thing I did mention is that you can speak to Genie. So I would like to show you by speaking to Genie how you can do differential diagnosis, either in chronic cases or even in acute situations when you are debating between a couple of remedies or more. We'll stick to 2 remedies just because it's simpler and shorter. So the first language I'm going to speak to Genie in is in English, but you don't have to. You could use the language of your choice, your mother tongue, and Genie will respond to you in that, and I will demonstrate it. What is the difference between the diarrhea of podophyllum and the diarrhea of aloe? So I speak to Genie my question. I don't have to type it out. And it goes in, it analyzes, and it will still bring you the response that you need in the language that you asked it to. So here it is. It is giving you the nature of the diarrhea, the characteristics of the stool, associated symptoms, and comparing it between each other. And also giving you the keynotes of the 2 remedies in case you needed more information. So let's try a similar sort of query, but in a different language. So I'm going to switch to Hindi. Natramure और बेलाडोना के सर दर्द की विशेषताएं बताएं. So you can see that I put my question in the language, in the script of the language that I asked it. It is pulling up the answer now For those people who don't speak Hindi, I asked it to give me the differences between the headache of Natramure and belladonna. And you can see that it's answered me in that same language. Um, I could, of course, now type a query here and say, give me this same exact information in English, and it will do that. Um, so I can also, my third language is French. I could ask a question in French, um, but I think we are running out of time. And as you know, we have a lot of presenters to get through in these next 2 days. So I just wanted to give you a brief glimpse of how powerful this technology is and how useful and quick and consistent it can make your prescriptions and your practice. It's really like having an assistant in the room and just saying, give me this, get me that. Um, what can we do here? And Jeannie will answer.